Erin Patterson has spent her first night as a convicted killer in a Melbourne prison. The 50-year-old was found guilty on 3 counts of murder yesterday. As life returns to normal in Morwell, the doctor who treated those poisoned by the lethal lunch has spoken about the moment he realised she was a murderer, while more details can be revealed of the lengths Erin Patterson took to cover up her crimes.
As Erin Patterson spends her first day as a triple murderer inside the Dame Phyllis Frost Centre at her empty home in Leongatha, neighbours are glad it's over.
It's just a sad way to get recognition for, a lovely town, really.
In Corumburra, a simple notice of sorrow and thanks posted at the church where mushroom lunch survivor Ian Wilkinson is pastor.
Everybody was cheering and people were ringing me up and saying, yes,
While Ian Wilkinson survived, his wife Heather died, along with Erin Patterson's in-laws Don and Gail Patterson. As the dust settles, details of the killer's movements and attempts to cover her tracks have been revealed. In the days after the fatal lunch, security vision shows a service station stop, where she stayed in the bathroom only 9 seconds, despite claiming she was experiencing frequent diarrhoea. 2 days after the lunch, she went to Leongatha Hospital, where she was seen by Dr. Chris Webster. He asked her where she got the mushrooms, but when she replied they were from Woolworths, he says he knew she was lying.
From that moment, in my mind, she was guilty, she was evil, and very smart to have planned it all and carry it out.
Erin Patterson then discharged herself, despite being warned she could die by Dr. Webster, who rang 000.
And what happened when she presented? She just got up and left? While I was attending the other patients, the nurse informed me that she had discharged herself against medical advice. She was only here for 5 minutes.
She chose not to take the path of redemption. She chose death.
When he gave evidence at her trial, Dr. Webster said he was left in no doubt as to Erin Patterson's feelings towards him.
It was visceral. I felt the intensity of the hostility and the negativity towards me through her glare.
Erin Patterson always said she was innocent, but her evidence was littered with untruths. Lies that started when she told police she'd never foraged for mushrooms or owned a dehydrator. This despite being seen dumping a dehydrator at the tip, and images found on her tablet of death cap mushrooms on kitchen scales. As prosecutors say, Erin Patterson weighed the deadly doses she needed to kill her victims. Sasha Payne, ABC News, Morwell.
And Sasha Payne is at the Latrobe Valley Law Courts in Morwell. Sasha, what happens next for Erin Patterson?
Well, now that Erin Patterson has been convicted, the next step is the sentencing. We don't have a date for that yet, but when the court does reconvene to consider the sentence, they'll consider a number of things. They'll consider victim impact statements, Erin Patterson's circumstances, her children, her lack of prior convictions and other factors. Now, Erin we haven't yet heard if her lawyers are going to launch an appeal. They can't start that process until 28 days after the sentence. They can appeal the verdict, the sentence or both. But the right to appeal is not automatic. Erin Patterson's lawyers will need to prove that there was some kind of error in the legal process. And they, as I mentioned, will have 28 days after the sentencing to do that. Former Victorian Chief Magistrate Nick Pappas, KC, says the sentence could be severe.
This is a very serious example of murder. Multiple deceased, pre-planning, a premeditated killing in very chilling circumstances. So the maximum's life, and there'd be no surprise if that's what the judge gave.
It's been a much quieter day, of course, in Morwell today. We haven't heard from any family members. That includes Simon Patterson, Erin Patterson's ex-husband, of course, and Pastor Ian Wilkinson, who was the sole surviving guest at the lunch. They haven't spoken to the media or made any statements. However, police have asked on their behalf that their privacy be respected. Isk?
Sasha Payne in Morwell, thank you.